everybody, Alert Wolf here again to give you another anime review. This time, it's of Dragon Ball Z Super. And this one is episode 3. Alright, and episode 3 is interesting. Alright, the title of this one is Where Does the Dream Go? Look for Super Saiyan God. Alright, now, I'm going to get right into the breakdown and really my opinions and thoughts of where this is really headed. Alright, so right now, in this episode, we get Beerus is trying to remember his dream, trying to figure out who is the super something god, right? And he, just like before, he calls for the fish, and he threatens the fish a little, and we find out the things. We find out it's a Super Saiyan God, which we all know. Now, here's the thing. This is sort of a retelling of the movie. And basically, if you've seen the movie, this is just like a longer version of it, except there are minor differences. And it's going to be interesting to see if there's a reason for this. But there's a couple of things that we find out that we didn't know. One, the reason why King Kai was never brought back is because Goku is absent-minded and is forgetting to bring King Kai back with the Dragon Balls. And King Kai says that every time they use the Dragon Balls, he's hoping they'd bring him and his buddies back. Now that's interesting because they did bring back the planet that was destroyed, but not King Kai. So that is it's funny that they addressed it because it's something you've always wondered, like, why wasn't King Kai resurrected? So that's something you learn in the earlier going of the episode. A couple of differences is we have when Beerus meets the fish, instead of the Oracle fish, them going to meet him like in the movie, he comes to them and breaks his like food or something, his dessert. So that's a minor difference. Another minor difference is Bulma's party is not currently at the estate. It's on a private giant yacht, or it's not even a yacht, it's a luxury liner that she calls a yacht. And she's pissed off because, Gina and Goku aren't around because they're training. We have a couple of comedic overlays about, it's going to take us blah, blah, blah minutes to get there, just as long as an anime in this one. I think they said Chinese cartoon or something. But the beats are there, I think. And the other important feature to note about this episode is we find out that the Elder Kai was sealed away by Lord Beerus in the Z Sword, and he was way overmatched. Now, we already knew Beerus was stronger than the Elder Kai, but this is confirmation, and it's interesting stuff about the sword. So, like I said, in this episode, we got two interesting facts that we did not know, or maybe it was in the manga. Like I said, I don't read the manga, so it doesn't matter. But as far as from a TV show watching, those are two things that we didn't know, and it's interesting to find that out. Now, here's the thing. Here's where I'm going to get weird on it. Or not weird, but just a little critical. I got to see where they're going with this, right? Because the next episode looks like it's going to be a direct, well, not a direct, but a tie-in to how things are going in the movie, such as King Emperor Pilaf coming into play, Beerus looking like at the end of the episode getting to Goku finding out about Beerus. So you wonder how strong the parallel is. Again, I wonder why go through this. The only reason why I could think they would do this is because it's slightly going to be different from the movie in a way that branches out to a wider, different path later. Because to retell the movie in the anime is kind of stupid unless the minor differences lead to a huge story change. again, I don't even see the point of honestly retreading any of the movie's territories, because they were already considered canon before Super even started. So I don't see the point of retelling the same story, even if it does change someone. Like, I like getting extra background information, that's cool, but as far as just retelling the same story, I, you know what it's like? It's like one of them courtrooms. When you're just like, you hear the judge and you're like, I'll allow it, but you have a short leash. Let me see where this is going. And that's what I feel like Dragon Ball Super is doing. It's like, I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm gonna give you a chance to I'm gonna give you some rope. Don't hang yourself with the rope I'm giving you, though. So we do know it is taking a similar path than the movie, but with slight variable differences. Now, the differences could just be fun story plots. I mean, nobody wants to retell the same story, so maybe a couple of differences here and there is just for fun. But I'm hoping it leads somewhere. But again, to me, I wouldn't be redoing the movies because the movie was excellent. I haven't seen Revival of F, but I think it comes out the 24th in the U.S. of August, so I'm gonna go see it then. I believe it's the 24th. So I'm gonna see it in the theater as soon as it comes out, but I'm excited to that. But like I said, I don't see the point of retelling it. Plus everybody really wants to see the capabilities of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and we're not even at Super Saiyan God yet, so. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if they figure out a different way to create a Super Saiyan God, and obviously Barris's counterpart may appear. And it's interesting how the Elder Kai spoke of gods, plural, when he was describing the opposite of them. They're the Kais that create the planets, but there are gods that are designed for destruction, and that's who Barris is, the god of destruction. So that means there are gods, plural, that have similar types of roles. So that is interesting that they toss that in there. Again, I think information-wise, this episode was pretty solid. I'm gonna give this one, I'm gonna give it a 3. 3 out of 5. I'm gonna say this episode was good, and the reason for it is, I thought it'd be a much slower progression, given that it's Dragon Ball, and we seem to be moving right along. All these events so far, the first 3 episodes, have only been half a day. So it's stretching out that first movie, but we're getting more information out of it. And maybe that was the point. And if that's the point, I guess it's okay if they go somewhere different. I hope they don't. I hope the minor differences are just minor differences for the fun of storytelling, and they don't really matter. And I hope they don't go too far off the deviated path of the first 2 movies, and so that they're not too, and then they could do their own thing after they cover the movie grounds, basically. But this could also be a delay tactic, and what I'll put out here is they're doing this show awfully fast. When I first heard about Super, I did not expect to get Super episodes before the U.S. version of Revival of F even came out. I wasn't expecting it so freaking fast. The manga and the anime are happening simultaneously. So I think that's the other reason for recovering the movie ground, because that gives them time to create a story and write it. Whereas now I feel like they're doing ambitious stuff, but it's very fast. So this could be a delay tactic. Retread the next 2 movies, and that could take as much as a year to do the 2 movies, or a year and a half, which gives them plenty of time to write out a proper arc on where they're taking the show. Again, that's one option of why you would retell the movie stories, because if you had a direction on where you wanted to go, there's no real reason to retell the movie stories unless you either A, wanted to go a completely different route, or B, you just need time to develop a story. and I'm thinking it may be a combination of both, but probably a lot more B. Um, so those are my thoughts on this third episode. I think the next episode, hold on a second, it's reloading. It has something to do. I think it's episode 4 is, hold on a second. Right, come on, 3, 4 is called Aim for the Dragon Balls Peel-Offs, Gang's Great Strategy, and that's due August 2nd, so I'll try to put this out maybe a few days afterwards. I haven't really gotten into the rhythm of these videos yet, so I'm doing them as quick as I can, but it's, once I fall back into the routine of exactly when things come out and to try to put the episodes out sooner than later, it'll get more steady. So as the season progresses, you'll get more stable me doing videos. But that's enough said. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is your buddy Alert Wolf signing off.